5 o'clock, Tuesday of game week. Prater's excited because his Vegas Golden Knights, I didn't even say Las Vegas, I know.
Yeah.
The Vegas Golden Knights will unveil their Stanley Cup banner, the first major sports championship to be had in Las Vegas. And
yes, sir.
Hockey's going on right now. It's October 10th. This month is crazy. Yeah, the NHL regular season's upon us.
Not ready for that, but definitely looking forward to that game tonight and hockey season. Holy cow. As you pointed out the other day, maybe one of the reasons why I think it's too damn early to start the hockey season, it doesn't end until July.
Yeah.
Or even late June.
Late June.
Yeah, late June.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy, man. How long? NBA is kind of the same way, too. This is our video segment, so welcome our YouTube audience and anybody watching on social media. Our YouTube audience and our daily video segments always brought to you by the Dollar Loan Center. Visit don'tbebroke.com and be excited because they are soon opening 16 stores in Idaho, talking the Dollar Loan Center. Eric McAlister, Prater, Boise State wide receiver, on an all-conference pace right now. There's been a lot of shaky with this Boise State team this season, but Ashton Genty in the backfield and Eric McAlister on the outside, those two have been anything but. McAlister, Prater, having a special season, and we've seen a lot of receivers have special seasons on this program with this team. He's having one.
I know the fans are divided about the progress of this team, the future of this team, the future of the players, the progress of the coaching staff. Here's one thing that we all agree on, one big kumbaya moment. Everybody loves Eric McAlister, and the coaching staff showed that on the very first day of this football season. 15 targets in that Washington game. Are you kidding me? Nobody's even come close to that many targets in a game this season. He's by far the most targeted wide receiver on this football team. He has 56 targets. Steph Cobbs has 39, and after that, it drops significantly. Eric McAlister is being leaned on by far as wide receiver one, and ballgame as you know it, he's definitely coming through.
Yeah, on the season, 30 catches, 596 yards, 4 touchdowns. Last year, he had 4 touchdowns for the entire season, and he did it on 11 catches. This year, Prater, he's already 3 times the catches he had last year, and there's at least 6 games left, maybe 7, maybe even 8 games on the season. McAlister certainly flirting with some history with not a lot of people have done with this program. And like I said, they've had some really good receiving seasons historically. And I don't know if we've seen a receiving season this good with a quarterback situation this shaky. I mean, does McAlister get extra bonus points? Like, dude, the guy's got 2 quarterbacks throwing him the ball. Neither one is tremendously accurate, Prater.
Both of them about 55%. How many yards did you say he has?
596 receiving yards in 6 games.
There's only 4 Boise State wide receivers who have gone over 1,200 yards in a season.
Yep.
Titus Young once, Thomas Spurbeck twice, and Cedric Wilson in that monster 2017 season.
What a year.
Only 4, and he has a chance to do that. That's a pretty spectacular number. We're going to keep an eye on that 1,200 milestone.
Yeah, here's Andy Avalos earlier this week, head football coach, Boise State, on how Eric McAlister is playing this season for the Broncos.
We continue to see him make some big-time plays in critical situations. Since probably, Mike, about this time last year is really when it started to click for him. And again, people get to see what they do on the field, but it really clicked off the field when he made a decision that he was going to approach the game a certain way and how he was going to prepare and maximize his opportunities that he was getting in the game. Because this time last year was just a little bit, right? I mean, it was probably 15 plays maybe, but he started taking advantage of those 15 plays. You know, maybe the ball came to him 2 or 3 times. He built on his preparation process and how he was going to study and prepare. And eventually, you know, what you put into anything is what you get out of it. And so now we are where we're at now, and we can't stop that. We got to continue to build. He's going to see good corners. He's going to see good corners this week as the rest of our wide receivers. And we've got to be able to have an impact on the game. So that's why I say we got to continue building on our process and our preparation, not only in the film room, but how we practice and how detailed we are. How we come off the ball with speed. And he's done a really good job of that throughout the course of the year. And we just got to keep doing it.
About halfway through that soundbite, you heard Andy Avalos say at one point it clicked in, and essentially he said he started to finally take it seriously. I'd never really heard that before, and I didn't really know, what his approach to this football program was when he first got on campus. But it probably times very well with Dirk Cutter, not to blow smoke up, with our next guest here in about 5-10 minutes. But Dirk Cutter, we know that Dirk Cutter put him on the football field. We know that Dirk Cutter talked about his playmaking ability. I wonder if Eric McAlister was fired up all game by the presence of Dirk Cutter.
I bet Eric McAlister is a big fan of Dirk Cutter. I know Taylen Green is also. I mean, he worked his magic last year, and if not for Dirk Cutter last year, I don't know if Eric McAlister is where he is right now, which could be a career, long football career, maybe includes playing on a particular day of the week. Here's Taylen Green. He talked today. I asked him about his relationship with Eric McAlister and what type of season. Here's TG10. What type of year his wide receiver Eric McAlister is having?
It's a crazy year he's having, just being very explosive on anything. Like a really big emphasis this offseason was, doing more than just goes, doing more than just posts, running the full route tree, whether it's a curl, a dime, or there's a bank post, just doing it all and just putting it on film. And, he's doing it in practice, but him doing it on the field and y'all get to see is really great to watch. Him just being out there smiling and just telling Bush like on the sidelines, the adjustments and all that, just being another coach out there. So love seeing him taking that next step and his confidence. You can definitely tell out on the football field, and at the same time, that's what you can see in the receiver room. Everybody is, for everybody. They see EMAC go for that long touchdown. They're right there celebrating with him. You see Billy over there in Memphis going for that long pass, right there celebrating. So it's always everybody's just encouraging each other. And that's what I love. When one person's making a big play, we're all celebrating. So that's what I love.
I can't imagine, this is a cheap shot, if Eric McAlister was playing against Boise State's defense, he'd have 1,000 yards right now. He's an explosive machine.
Yeah.
And every single game he's played this year, he's caught at least a 17-yard pass. And it started at Washington, a 19-yard pass. And then he went 34, 39, 37, and then last week against San Jose State, the 83-yard pass. This dude is an explosive machine, my friend.
How far can he take this thing? I mean, look at the year he's having. We all know his height, weight, his measurables. I mean, you see him out there. He's a beast at the position. We're seeing a lot of beasts at this position now. He's another one. And let's get to it. Bush Hamdan, he's been in NFL locker rooms. He's coached in the NFL. He's coached future NFL receivers at other previous stops in college. We asked Bush Hamdan, do you think Eric McAlister one day will be an NFL guy?
I think the biggest thing of addressing of running him inside, with those wide guys, that's something we got to continue to develop. And I think
well, we were doing really well until then. Eric McAlister, does Bush Hamdan think he could be an NFL guy?
I do. And I think I've told you guys that, since I've gotten here. Again, there's just that combination of, great length, ability to run, toughness, making, tough catches. And again, it's just so crazy how young he still is, and there's a lot of, youth maybe on this whole roster, but it's always going to come down to his approach, how important it is to him. And if he continues where he's at, he'll be playing for a long time.
Earlier in the show, I teased you for asking an NFL question, but I was really surprised that Bush went there and answered it directly. Absolutely. So great question, great answer. I think we all see the potential, the specifics behind the scene, the route running, the route tree, everything that's really, really important.
Yeah.
Those are the fine things that he has to push up. Ballgame, do you think, the NFL, do you see this, that we can see this guy on an NFL football field somewhere down the road? And he's draft eligible after this season.
Yes, he is.
I think he needs to come back for at least one more year.
I do too. And I hope that's not in the portal, going to some place where he knows he has stability at quarterback. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's not, hey, who's going to offer me as much money as he can get. Maybe he's in a family situation where he needs to be paid more than in pizza and dreadlocks or braids. But play with me on this. Let's just say he finishes the season on this trajectory. Let's give him 65 catches. Let's give him 1,200 yards.
Okay.
Let's give him 9 touchdowns. If that's the year he has, Prater, I've seen dudes with much worse stats who were shorter and slower and made less plays enter the draft early. So it could possibly be there. I agree, one more year, but I'm not going to tell a kid. He's thinking I'm ready. He probably feels that way. And if he has the stats that prove it, maybe Eric McAlister is in the draft in 6 months. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think he's a draftable player yet. I mean, that doesn't mean by the end of the season he can't just be off the charts and be that guy. But, if Genty comes back, if Taylen comes back, I don't care what the messy situation is at quarterback. I'm not too worried about that. I think McAlister will come back. We've talked about, the Texas connection. I really, truly believe that there's a bond between Genty and Emack and Taylen Green. And, if those three stick together, all three of them for next year, holy cow, we'll have to start doing segments on Boise State skill players and a fine collection of skill players and watch how they develop. That's a pretty good core to build your football team around next year.
Send me and Prater a text right now of a percentage point. Give me your percentage point that Taylen Green, Ashton Genty, and Eric McAlister are all three on this team next year. 52%, 65%. Text us.
What's your number?
Probably around 50%, maybe a little less. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe that's a segment for another day, Prater.
I'll go 85.
Wow. Okay. Dirk Cutter, a new career move with Fox Sports. He's in play-by-play. He's doing play-by-play this week of the Boise State game. Oh, we got to figure out what came on from this. Dirk Cutter on this show next.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.